What the fuck? This is interesting. Another interesting fact. You see this? These are the new sewage systems. I'm not joking. The Iranian sewage systems is it uses a small ditch. See, it's like right over there. Let me just show you guys so you would believe me. This is a sewage system. This is stupid thing is a sewage system.
Long time ago, before the who knows whoever came up with this idea, let's just live in the middle of the desert. That desert was called Iran, in the middle of the nowhere. But for that idea, you need water. You're in the middle of desert. There's nowhere to find water. The word jungle comes from the Iranian Persian jungle. Jungle would be a really nice place to live, right next to the river, and lots of fruits and vegetables and animals. But they didn't choose the jungle, so they came up with this idea: let's just bring the water in the middle of the desert. But how we're gonna do that? Some people came up with this idea: let's just dig underneath of the mountain, and step by step with a long tunnel for thousands of kilometers bring the water to the middle of the desert, to their own small community or small town. But as the community growth and population growth, and city after the city, they need other resources, so they found somehow to make above the ground ditches, and they bring the water next to every corner, every neighborhood, every district, every town. And each house had this really tiny water tanks, but there wasn't like these days the water tanks. It was just a really tiny room underneath of the ground, and sometimes even 100 meters below the earth, and it has lots of steps to get into that cool, very creepy water, and there was no lights or any resources for that. But people got used to that idea, so every house gets water at the really specific time of the day, and some people came with this idea to just make every divide this neighborhood to who's gonna get water at the what time or whatever. Never mind. So these ditches was clean and just for watering and things like that, and the population wasn't that much. That wasn't. It was well, like today's massive. So after the 100 years ago, this practice goes for thousands of years, and like just 100 years ago, people came up with the tap water or pipe water, so they didn't need to just use these ditches. So how we're gonna use these ditches for the sewage system? So the sewage comes from the kitchens and the washings. They would just go run to these ditches and going all over the town. It doesn't matter was it a rich neighborhood or poor neighborhood. Each neighborhood has, and each alleys, each corner had these ditches. I still have it. If you watch my videos, you're gonna see it. Every corner has these ditches, small streams, waters, but they're not clean waters. They're just sewage, and it's really popular and it's really normal to see rodents, rats, bugs, and whatever around the corners. Even roadkills are really normal to see. Dead rats all over the place. I even rode over these dead rats' bodies. Anyway, so this has been going on for years and years, but just like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, government came up with this idea: let's just bring that sewage system underneath of the earth or ground. So they just digged up for just 3 meters underneath of the ground, and use this really tiny narrow pipes, which it doesn't have a capacity for this really huge dense neighborhoods of the Tehran and Iranian neighborhoods, really dense. Each tiny alleys, it is a place for thousands of people. It's a neighborhood for thousands of people living in this really tiny spaces. And Iranian use water for everything, for the washing and cleaning, and each going to the pray, or they don't use the water, they don't use toilet paper. Iranian use water for everything. Islamic Shia practicing 3 times a day praying, and there's a huge massive gathering at the Friday pray, which we don't know if the next pray is gonna be hold up or not, which is gonna be really controversial. Iranian don't want to talk about it, especially with the coronavirus, because in Iran, you're not supposed to criticize any Islamic practice. You're not supposed to say any negative about it. But it is a reality, and the virus doesn't understand you're Muslim or not. So it is gonna be a really fun confrontation with the religious and reality of the scientific reality. Anyway, it is gonna be creepy. But so imagine these pipes are really tiny, and it's gonna be really they're gonna be a really flash flood in case of any rain, or just not the heavy rain, just a tiny rain, or shower would make really nasty and surprisingly flash flood all over the town, and it would be contaminated if there's a virus or any other diseases, and with the bugs or microbes. Anyway, yeah, I forgot what I wanna tell you guys. So the whole thing is just fun. I just saw this really new system after thousands of years ago. Some people came up with this idea, and they're just gonna they just came up with this idea to just fix it after all of these years, and it's gonna be crazy. Who knows? Let's see what's going to be happen next. Thanks for watching.